I've been part of the 𝐸𝐺𝐸 family now I've been end user for a very long time, almost 11, 12 years. Been using the Kangen machine for very long now. Yeah, you guys familiar with the Kangen machine? The best drinking water on planet Earth. And recently, in the last 2.5 years, 𝐸𝐺𝐸 launched emGuarde. Yeah, in some countries, newer, some countries like India, you're just starting to get imports right now. Prior to India, it was America and Canada. And hey, this emGuarde opportunity, guys, man, it's growing. It's really growing. And what's coming next? I'm not gonna spoil anything for you guys, but what's coming next, guys, I can only foresee emGuarde sales literally 10xing in the next coming years. Right? It's absolutely, absolutely crazy. And for those who are also not aware that this particular weekend, there is going to be a essential 𝐸𝐺𝐸 workshop and an emGuarde summit that's happening in Malaysia. All right. Perhaps you guys are coming. So I may see some of you in Malaysia. And for those who are not coming, unfortunately, I mean, it's not unfortunately, but we won't be able to meet. But it's not too late. Yeah, it's not too late for you to get your tickets and perhaps plan your trip to Malaysia. All right, so let's get started, guys. emGuarde. What is emGuarde? Perhaps some of you have already been promoting emGuarde. You've been doing demos for emGuarde. Some of you, maybe you just started. Yeah, some of you are completely new. And I just want to ask in the chat very quickly, if you are new, yeah, you have no idea what emGuarde is, you have not invested in emGuarde yet, and you have been invited in this call to take a look at emGuarde. Now, I want you guys to type new in the chat for me so I can acknowledge who you are. Yeah. Hey, Monica from UK, Liverpool. Welcome, welcome. Do drive safe. All right. Okay. Matt, I have not invested yet. All right, Matt. Thank you for letting me know. Well, welcome to the emGuarde group. Yeah. Perhaps after this Zoom call, I'll be able to help you make a better educated decision in terms of why you should have an emGuarde with you in your house. All right. So for those who are new, for those who just recently started promoting the emGuarde, guys, this call is for you. Okay. Because at the end of the day, if we want to do a business, we need to be able to present the value of emGuarde. And for you to present the value of emGuarde, you need the basic information. You need the basic knowledge. So in this Zoom call, it's for everybody. It's for us to dive deeper into why emGuarde is necessary today. Today, we are living in the 21st century, a bountiful of electronic gadgets all around us. Yeah, just to give you some statistics. Quick one. How many people are there on planet Earth? Who knows the answer? How many human beings are there on planet Earth today? You don't have to give me the exact figure. A guesstimate is fine. Yeah, anybody knows the answer? If you don't know, it's roughly about 8.1 billion people on planet Earth. 8 trillion, whoa, that's a lot. No, the answer is 8 billion plus people on planet Earth. Do you guys want to know how many electronic gadgets there are on planet Earth? Guys, there are over 30 billion electronic gadgets that exist on planet Earth. You're telling me that there is literally one human being to 4 electronic gadgets in 2025. And apparently that statistics is going to grow from 1 human being to 10 electronic gadgets in 2040. And guys, the numbers are absolutely staggering. They're only going to grow. And let's face it, every single one on this call, we understand the dangers of something called electromagnetic radiation. All right. So very quickly, we're going to dive into the information necessary today to understand more about this growing problem. Okay. emGuarde is a solution that we can implement into our lives very easily just by investing in and plugging in and literally being in its vicinity. right? So it's called Change Your Environment, Change Your Life. emGuarde is the product of the 21st century. Now, let's start, guys. 30 years ago, right, life was relatively quite simple. Am I right? Baiju, are you trying to raise your hand to say something? If you are, I'm going to ask you to say it later on. All right? I'm going to not have anybody speak now. I'm going to give some time later if you have any questions to ask later. All right? Thank you so much. So now, 30 years ago, guys, life was very simple. I remember it because I'm 31 this year. And I remember growing up in a life where we didn't have a lot of electronic gadgets around me. And even if I did, my parents would always have a limit in terms of how much time I would spend with them. Yeah, I would probably have 2 hours a day on my computer or my phone, and that was all I could do. But back then, I remember spending a lot of my times playing outdoors. Yeah, going to the playground, playing with my friends, meeting other friends, and just being in nature. So back then, there weren't a lot of electronic gadgets. Unfortunately, today, something has shifted, something has changed because when I go to playgrounds, number one, I don't see children. I mean, I see children, but I see majority of the people in playgrounds now are actually adults. Yeah, adults, older, more senior citizens, they are exercising. And children, they no longer want to go to playgrounds, but instead they want to be using their electronic gadgets, their computers, their phones to entertain themselves. And that's the trend now. And us as parents, I'm not a parent yet, but I'm sure most of you on this call are parents, but we are stuck in a dilemma, right? Because we understand the importance that children need to understand how to use these gadgets, because they need to formalize themselves with it in the future. They need to use them to find jobs. But at the same time, we are also kind of alarmed at the fact that long-term exposure to electronic gadgets for us or even for our children have certain negative health impacts. Yeah, so we're now in a dilemma and we need a solution that we can implement immediately to relieve us of that problem. All right, because today with all of these electronic gadgets in our surroundings, there is something called EMF radiation pollution or electromagnetic radiation pollution. All of the gadgets that we are surrounded by are actually adding a sort of pollution to our environment. And it's very interesting because this pollution, you don't see it, you don't feel it, and you don't hear it. But we know it exists. We just forget it exists. Yeah. So let me share with you very quickly what electromagnetic radiation is. Now, if you go to pubmed.com, yeah, it's a website you can go and Google, you can just Google it. And in PubMed, if you Google something called e-noise, which stands for electromagnetic radiation noise, yeah, they define e-noise as a signal from electronic products and instruments that emit radiation and electromagnetic fields. If you further read on this passage, it says it includes not only the acoustic, but also non-acoustic noises. Haha. So number one fact is this: radiation is not some sort of supernatural force. It's not. It is literally a sound. It is a frequency that us human beings are unable to hear. Right? That's why they say audible, or acoustic or non-acoustic. It's audible and non-audible noises. So that's the first information that we need to have, that electromagnetic noise radiation is a noise. All right? And if you continue reading on the passage, you would see that there's a lot of negative health impacts related to this e-noise. Let's to name a few: fatigue, stress, irritability, headaches, insomnia. Something more serious: cardiovascular health problems, hypertension, ischemic heart disease, a lot more dangerous: stroke, brain, metabolic problems, obesity. Guys, the list of problems, of chronic problems that a lot of people are facing today have been related to us being too exposed to these e-noises. Yeah, so that's the first thing that we need to be aware of. These e-noises can have negative health impacts on us. All right. Now, this news is not new. All right. There have been a lot of science reports, a lot of radio stations reporting this, government authorities reporting this. For men, yeah, you may have heard of some news before saying men, we shouldn't put our phones in the front pockets because it could affect the fertility of a male. Yeah, lowering the sperm count, affecting the vitality of the sperm, and in some rare cases, it could also lead to infertility in men. Yeah, having the phones in the front pockets. So what you should do, men. Now, what I do is very simple. Either I put my phone in the back pocket if I have to use my both hands, or I just carry my phone in my hand. Yeah, I keep it far away as possible from the important areas. All right. So more information on this. Many years ago in 2019, there's already been a survey done, and this survey is relating health chronic problems to exposure to EMF. All right. If you look at the list here, you have a lot of common problems: sleep, fatigue, concentration, memory or learning problems, stress and anxiety, and headaches. Now, very quickly in the chat for me, guys, I want to have you guys participate, and also for me to know you guys are paying attention. Now, very quickly in this in the chat, right? Type 1 if you have ever experienced any of these problems on a daily basis before. Type 1 if you have. Yeah. One. A lot of people are actually facing these problems, am I right? Yeah, even for myself. I'm a young guy. Yeah, I'm 31. And I too have encountered some of these problems. Sleep, to be exact. A very bad habit that a lot of young people are doing, not young people actually, everybody are doing now, is that we tend to use our phones right before we sleep, scrolling social media. Yeah, you guys do that? I do. Yeah, I do. So much too that my screen time is absolutely crazy. I spend maybe about 8 to 10 hours a day on my phone. Not proud of it, but but it is what it is. So a lot of these problems, hey, we encounter them. We encounter them every single day. Some people are trying to find remedies for it and whatnot have you. But let me tell you my remedy, guys, to my sleeping problems. emGuarde. Even with the emGuarde in my environment, I continue to do what I do and I sleep well every single day. Yeah. And that is one of the biggest selling point of emGuardes. Almost 99% of people who buy emGuardes today, a lot of the testimonies are related to better sleep. Yeah. So just by that information alone, yeah, type 3 in the chat if you agree with me. Just by that alone, emGuarde can improve the sleep of its consumers. Don't we have a huge market in the whole world for emGuarde? Doesn't that give us a ginormous market opportunity to sell this product to everyone? Yeah, so that is the technology that we are introducing to our loved ones. emGuarde is able to improve sleep. Yeah. Electromagnetic radiation sources in your homes. Well, all of these. Basically anything that requires electricity or some sort of battery-powered device will emit e-noises into our environments. Today, EV cars are becoming very popular. Some people hate them, some people like them. Personally, I don't want to touch them, right? Because if you think about it, guys, you are literally sitting on a huge battery. Yeah. Interesting when sometimes I scroll social media on Instagram, Facebook. I do come across some people talking about their experiences with living with an EV car for many, many years, especially in the Western world, because that's where Tesla started having EV cars first, right? A lot of these people have been mentioning about, health problems that have been related to them driving their EV cars every single day. So again, the news is not new. Yeah. So this is a depiction of what electromagnetic radiation noises look like. And this is from NASA themselves, right? So it looks like this, where waves are coming out of the electronic gadgets that are actually polluting our homes. And I can almost guarantee if any of you were to be able to see these frequency waves, you guys would not step foot into your houses. Instead, you'll be living somewhere in the jungle, somewhere in nature, far, far away from all of these modern technology. Yeah, but thank God we don't see them. But we need to be very aware they exist. All right. Now, if you guys are still following me, type 2 in the chat for me so I know you guys are with me on this. All right. Perfect. Monica is really excited. Thank you for the energy, Monica. I love it. All right. So, guys, some more information very quickly to share with you. All right. World Health Organization, WHO for short, they have already classified radio frequency electromagnetic fields as possibly carcinogenic to humans. Carcinogenic meaning cancer causing, all right? And the increased risk of glioma, which is a main type of brain cancer that has been associated with wireless phone use. Guys, this was all the way back in 2011. We're now living in 2025. Nothing has changed. Instead, the habit of us being fully reliant on our devices have only gotten worse. Yeah, so imagine the impact that it's having on not only you and me, but everybody in today's world. Very interesting news here. BBC, they reported that France, a country, halted the sale of iPhone 12s in the whole country. Because why? iPhone 12s were operating way above its acceptable radiation limit. Yeah, there are guides that have been implemented, and apparently iPhone 12 was exceeding those maximum levels of radiation. All right. So this is a country banning iPhone 12 sales. But what did Apple do? Apple decided to release a clause in their phones stating what? Or if you want to use Apple's products and reduce your exposure to radiation to electromagnetic radiation frequencies, what you could do is use Apple's products from a hands-free option. Don't put these devices too close to your body. So what can we conclude from this information? The BBC News and what Apple did. Number one, government authorities acknowledge the existence of radiation from our electronic devices. Yeah, you guys with me on this? The governments are acknowledging the problem. Number two, the manufacturers who are producing these devices, they also acknowledge the problem is real. Think about it, guys. If this problem was not real, do you think Apple would even care? Do you think Apple would even go to the extent of releasing this clause in their products? No way, right? It is because this problem is real, Apple needs to release the statement to protect themselves. Make sense? So if the government authorities are taking this problem seriously, if the manufacturers are also acknowledging this problem, the question is, are we taking this problem seriously? A question to ask yourself, and also a question that you can ask the people that you introduce emGuarde to. All right. So over here, very quickly, let me show you a quick video. This is Dr. Satvinder. He's a team member of mine. And this doctor actually have been studying EMF radiation for quite a long time now. All right. And let's see what he has to say about not us, but children, right? So if you have children in your homes, you want to pay attention to this video. Let's take a look.
The children's brain, like the hypothalamus, it tends to absorb 1.5 to 2 times more electromagnetic fields than an adult. But if you look at the child's bone marrow, it absorbs an amazing 10 times more electromagnetic radiation than an adult. The brain is much more absorbent, the skull is thinner, and because the relative size is smaller, if I give you the same dosage, your smaller tissue is going to absorb more than the bigger tissue. The first thing you have to do is keep the appliance that's emitting the radiation further apart from you, like handphones, off all power points when they're not in use. Number 3, you could use electromagnetic field harmonizers, which will balance out the radiation side effects from the appliance.
So what did Dr. Sabinder say? That if you have children at home, they are more susceptible to absorbing these radio frequency energy. So children are literally at higher risk than us adults, purely because their body structure has yet to fully develop. So if you have children at home, guys, do consider very seriously investing in an emGuarde to protect them. All right. In the chat, a few people has mentioned that they want a recording of this. I completely understand, guys. Unfortunately, this session will not be recorded. What you could do is, there is a Facebook page called emGuarde to the World. All right, a Facebook emGuarde to the World. You can go to that page and you can actually find a recording, a very nice recording that is done by Mr. Simon Low. Right, so it's a lot better done. The quality is better. You can go there and you can actually show that video. Go into the guides and go to, I think it's the 6th section or something like that. You'll be able to find the video there. All right. So emGuarde, how does it really work? Visually, something like this. Think of it as a force field, like a big bubble force field. Wing, something like that. So what emGuarde really does, it uses something called harmonics frequency to effectively suppress targeted electromagnetic noise radiation between 3 megahertz to 1000 megahertz within a 4-meter radius. So again, guys, I'm using the word noise because we again understand that EMF radiation is a noise. It is a frequency noise. All right, it's not some sort of special force field or something like that. It is a noise. It's a non-audible noise for us. All right, so emGuarde suppresses these noise so that this noise that's carrying the radiation is unable to affect our bodies. Within 3 megahertz to 1000 megahertz. Right, so if you want to explain in very quickly to your prospects or to your customers what emGuarde does, that is the wording below is the exact words for you to say. Right? Excuse me. Okay. Now let's dive into a bit more information. This part is going to be a bit more technical, a bit more scientific. Do bear with me, all right? And if you have any questions, just type it in the chat. I would love to answer your questions and give you more clarity. Okay. So emGuarde harmonizes 3 megahertz to 1000 megahertz. All right. So that's the range that emGuarde harmonizes. But why? Yeah, the question is why. So according to FCC, which is the Federal Communications Commission in the United States, they state that the human body absorbs RF energy at some frequencies more effectively than others. And they have found out that the range between 30 to 300 megahertz is where the body absorbs these energies like a sponge absorbing water. Within 30 to 300. They further explain saying that the reason for that is because certain body organs are operating at certain frequencies. Your brain has a natural operating frequency of 72, all right? The human body is about 62 to 78. There is heart frequency, there's liver frequency, so on and so forth. So because your body is operating at certain frequencies, if there is an existence of the same frequencies that are in our environment, they are actually causing some sort of unnatural vibration with our bodies. Yeah, it's something called the resonance theory. All right. So that is the reason why emGuarde was created. And now I'm going to show you a video proving that there is, take for example, 72 megahertz is the operating frequency of our brain. And I'm going to show you that there is actually 72 megahertz frequency, let's call it environment noises at 72 megahertz that are actually affecting our bodies. All right. So this is Simon. This is his video. And we can see he's using a very special detector called the SDR-RTL antenna. All right. So let's take a look very quickly at this video.
This is called the SDR software, and it's gonna actually detect the electromagnetic interference in this area. So what David is gonna do now, he's going to actually turn on the software. You can download this software on your Android phone. You just have to pay a couple dollars, you get the software. So I want you guys to see. Just zoom in on the phone, Ben. You can just take a look at this. I don't know if you guys can hear it. So the software is connected to a dongle that connects to an antenna, and the antenna is receiving the interference around this room. It's unbelievable. Take a look at the chart. It is crazy, absolutely crazy. We have not seen this anywhere else. Okay, so now what we want to find out is, if we have the emGuarde, what can it do to us and what can it do for us? So it's not connected. Now I'm going to put next to the SDR software. I'm going to turn it on. In 3, 2, 1. Look at the wave spectrum. It's gone down. I'm going to unplug the emGuarde.
Talk about this suppression.
All right. Take a look at the suppression, guys. Here, take a look at the suppression. Boom. With the emGuarde turned on. If you guys are watching this, I want you guys to bring your emGuarde everywhere you go, especially in cities like this, and make sure you always keep yourself protected. See you guys soon.
Wow. Imagine, guys, imagine all of those noises. They're actually interrupting with your brain. They're actually affecting your brain in some sort of manner. You know, just to put it into perspective here so that we can understand it properly. You know, what is the most sensitive organ in the human body? The brain. Yeah. When something is wrong, when something is off, the brain is usually affected first. Either a fever, either a headache, a migraine, or something, nausea, whatever. Yeah. So I'm sure some of you have experienced this before. When you use your computer, your phone for way too long, sometimes you get a headache, you get a migraine, you get nauseated, and you feel very tired. And I'm sure this has happened to you sometimes before. Yeah. So the thing is, as this video has presented, there is all of these so-called interruptions at 72 megahertz that are actually interacting with our brains, and that's why we are affected. All right, and you can see how emGuarde is able to suppress all of those environmental interruptions and make it quiet and peaceful for us so that our brains are not attacked in some sort of way, if you get what I mean, right? So that's the reason why we're having an emGuarde in your house. Number one, helps you sleep better. Number two, while you are using your devices, you are protected. All right, so that is the technology. This is the, and that's one of the reasons why we need emGuardes in our houses immediately, ASAP. All right. So I'm going to share with you a research here, very, very important research. And this is probably, this is what got me fully invested in marketing this emGuarde. Yeah. And because like you guys, you know, when this technology first came out, I had a lot of questions. But this particular research from Dr. Magda Habas sold it to me. Let me share it with you. Dr. 𝐏𝐫𝐨𝐝, Canadian researcher and professor, and she's dedicated a lot of time researching into electrosmog. That's her words, yeah? It basically means electromagnetic radiation pollution and how this pollution affects our bodies, in specific, the red blood cells. She says that a healthy human being with in a clean EMR environment. Number one, let's talk about what clean EMR environment is. You being in the forest, in the jungle, in nature. Yeah, no electronic gadgets, nothing. Just you in nature, chilling. That is clean EMR environment. Your healthy red blood cells under the microscope will look like this. Yeah, they're quite separated. They're very fast moving. They're flowing very, very quickly. Now, she says when you expose these red blood cells to EMF radiation, something happens. And I think visually we can see it. It's as though the red blood cells have decided to stack on each other like coins. She calls this formation the Rouleau's formation. Yeah? And she stated that if you have the Rouleau's formation, a few things occur. Poor circulation, low oxygen transport, reduced waste removal, headaches, and fatigue. It is because when you use your devices, your body is getting Rouleaux, your blood is getting Rouleaux, and that's the reason why all of these chronic problems are occurring. That's what her research is saying. And right now, I'm going to show you a video how emGuarde is able to help with the Rouleaux formation. Oh, wait. Oops. 1 second. What is this? All right, let's take a look at this video.
Okay, so what we can do is you get on your phone for maybe close to about half an hour, holding it, and then we'll check again and see how does the capillary blood look like.
It looked like my first blood test result was clean, with no signs of blood clotting or blood clumps. But would just 30 minutes of cell phone usage really do any harm at all to my body? I hope not. Let's find out.
Okay, let's have a look. So you can see all the cells now being stacked. See, all of them you cannot see those loose cells. You can see most of the cells now all stacked.
Clumped up together, right?
Exactly. Just look at that. The big message is always to try to reduce our exposure. It's almost impossible not to use, but try to be a bit more cautious in the usage.
So the thing is, I know you say it's better to reduce. It's impossible for somebody like me, and I'm sure there's lots of people out there that also need to be holding their phones. So is there anything I can do?
This is the device that can actually help harmonize your electromagnetic frequency wave. And you want to see how it works?
Sure.
Come.
With the Environment Harmoniser turned on beside me, Dr. Roland and I proceeded to do a third blood test to see just how well this technology supposedly suppresses EMR. Okay, so this looks completely different to the last test, doesn't it?
Yep. Clearly looks different, lesser Rouleau formation.
Guys, I think it's no-brainer. You know, after watching this video, I was completely sold on emGuarde. But what really got me to be like, wow, like people need to know this, was I literally replicated the same test myself. So what my team in Malaysia did, we literally bought a microscope from China, we brought it in, and we got the test done ourselves. And we did the exact same way. How do you do it? Let me tell you very quickly. Start by fasting. You have to fast, yeah, for about an hour or two. No water, no food. That's the best way for you to get the best results. Now, what you're going to do is use your phones for 30 minutes. Yeah, just watch YouTube, play a game, whatever. And what you do is, obviously don't have the emGuarde plugged in. Yeah, just use your phone. After 30 minutes, just take a prick on your finger and then test the blood. you would see that the blood is completely rulose. Then after that, repeat the same 30 minutes on your phone, watch YouTube, play your game, but now have the emGuarde turned on. And you will see that after that, your blood is no longer rulose. Take a look here. This is exactly what has happened for one of my team members in Malaysia. This is what I did when we did it. And this is just an example, you know, because he's obviously 60 years old. He's more senior. So the results were not as clear as the one in the video, right? Done by the one done by Dr. Roland and that gentleman. But as you can see, it is miles different. One is completely stacked. The other, you can literally see the circular shape of the red blood cells. So question for you is, after watching this video, are you convinced now that emGuarde is necessary today? You want to improve your blood flow? You want to have non-rulose blood? Get an emGuarde. You want to make sure you and your family are protected from all of these electromagnetic radiation waves? Get an emGuarde. You want to have better sleep? Get an emGuarde. You want to use your computers, your devices, you want your children to use the devices without the fear of the negative health impacts of using them? Get an emGuarde. And why emGuarde is so amazing, guys, is because you don't need to change anything about your lifestyles. That's the hardest part, right? When you're trying to sell something to somebody, when you're trying to promote something to somebody, it's always convincing them that they need to have some sort of lifestyle change. But now, you don't. You're not asking them to limit the time on the computer, the phone, what not have you. They can continue to do whatever they do every single day like normal. It's just that they have the emGuarde next to them. Isn't that so easy? It is so easy, and that's why emGuarde is that's why I say emGuarde literally has the potential to 10x in terms of sale volume compared to even the Kangen water machine. So the potential for you to sell 10 more emGuardes compared to Kangen machines is there. And this exists. It's already happening, guys. It's already happening in Malaysia, already happening in countries where emGuarde has entered. The sales of emGuardes are actually overtaking the sales of Kangen water machines now. Yeah. And if you think about it, guys, people can start with the emGuarde and later on, because they've already been exposed to 𝐸𝐸𝐺, they are more open-minded to listen to the Kangen machine. So you can actually, in the future, introduce the Kangen machine to them after you introduce the emGuarde. All right? Strategies. So where can you use the emGuarde, guys? Pretty much everywhere. Yeah, your office, your living room, the work office. If you guys travel often, maybe you travel an hour, 2 hours to work every single day. Hey, take the emGuarde, plug it into your car. You'll be able to protect yourself whilst you're on the journey. All right? Because imagine or not, guys, even your vehicle has very high levels of EMF radiation as well. Okay? Change your environment, change your life. This is emGuarde, right? I call it the technology of the 21st century because it literally helps us solve the biggest problem today. Is the fact that we are being bombarded by a lot of electromagnetic radiation on a daily basis. Not only us, our children, our loved ones, our parents, we are all being bombarded. And that can literally all be fixed by investing in an emGuarde. All right, for those who are new, for those who is your first time being exposed to emGuarde, I hope that after what I've shown you, guys, the problem is real. It is growing. We need a solution for it. Yeah. This solution, the investment in this solution comes in at a price of $1,480. If you ask me, it is really cheap. Let me tell you why. So emGuarde has a minimum lifespan, minimum of 5 years. So I'm not saying after 5 years, it just stops working. It's after 5 years, the coverage range starts to drop a little bit because, again, it's an electronic products and there's something called as electronic fatigue. Yeah, all of these motherboards, wires, and everything will deteriorate over time. But let's just say 5 years, hypothetically, emGuarde only lasts 5 years. Now, if you break down the price of an emGuarde in the next 5 years, every year it only costs you $300 to protect you and your family. You want me to break it down in months? Guys, it's less than $25 a month. You want me to break it down in days? It's less than $1 a day to ensure that you and your family are protected from EMF radiation. If you can't even bring yourself to invest $1 a day, then I don't know what else to say. Because how I see it is very simple. If this, in the long run, gets me better sleep, gives me a peaceful mind whenever I use my devices without the fear of any health implications, that's enough for me. Yeah? So 1,480, that is the investment in emGuarde to protect you and your family. Hey, Christian, possible to receive this presentation to PowerPoint format to use in our own presentations? Good question. Yes, you can. And I believe this presentation is uploaded on the Telegram group or even the Facebook group. Yeah, I believe it's already there because these particular sites itself is where I got my slides from. So I literally went to Telegram group and got it myself. It's just that I decided to change the slides a little bit. Yeah. How much is it in Canada? Good question. I have no idea. I'm sorry. I'm from Malaysia, so I don't know all the prices around the world. If somebody is from Canada and you bought an emGuarde, do help us out. Yeah. The US dollar 1480 is pretty much a global average. It's depending on tax and import duties and everything, it might vary. The event in Malaysia is happening this particular weekend, Saturday and Sunday, which is 27th and 28th of September. Yeah. All right. So that is the product presentation, guys. Now I'm going to share very quickly with you the business side of things. Because as amazing as the product is, the company, all right, has a very special plan, not only for us to, number one, recoup our investment costs in an emGuarde, is number two, for those who are daring enough to take this opportunity and turn it into a business, a very profitable and fruitful business that can provide you financial abundance. All right. So most of us, I'm assuming most of us in this call, we are already distributors. But for those who are not, who have yet to decide to even invest in emGuarde, let me share with you, whilst you invest in this emGuarde, there is a second opportunity at hand. All right. So before I can do that, let me introduce 𝐸𝐸𝐺𝐸 to you very quickly. 𝐸𝐸𝐺𝐸 is a Japanese direct selling company that is based in Okinawa. That is where the headquarters is. Osaka is where they manufacture the Kangen water machines. All right, so that's where the factory is. And 𝐸𝐸𝐺𝐸 is actually global. It's 51 years old, and we have 43 offices in 26 countries. So the company 𝐸𝐸𝐺𝐸 is not a small company. It is a very reputable, global, and ginormous company in the world. Yeah? Just take a look at all the offices around the world. And I am from Malaysia over here. Very small country. Okay? And if you can see, guys, there are still a lot of countries where 𝐸𝐸𝐺𝐸 has yet to open. And I can only imagine we're going to be opening more offices very, very soon, all around the world. Yeah? Take a look at the Scandinavian countries, 0. So perhaps if you're from Scandinavia, this could be a great opportunity for you to produce results and perhaps invite 𝐸𝐸𝐺𝐿 to open somewhere there. You never know, right? Okay, so 𝐸𝐸𝐺𝐿 business is very simple, guys. No monthly qualifications. You don't need to meet some sort of monthly KPI every single month. No inventory or stocks. You don't have to front load huge amounts of stocks and then think about how you're going to sell them, right? You are merely an order taker. You connect company to office. Office sends product. Customer pays to office. You receive commission. Simple as that. Okay, before I continue, I'm going to answer a few questions very quickly. Hey, Matt, too bad. I'd like to go. Well, perhaps this event may be a bit difficult for you to last minute arrange, but don't worry, we have these events in Malaysia every quarter. Yeah, so every quarter in Malaysia, we'll have the next event. The next event, I believe, is going to happen in January. It's in Kuala Lumpur, that's right. Alison, do you ever do these Zooms at different times? We used to, now we don't. For the sake of there isn't a lot of presenters at the moment for this particular. It's only been me and somebody else. Actually, just me. All right. And it's a bit difficult for me to do timings that are very awkward. Like for me, for example, like midnight Zooms and everything. So, but if you have a request for you to do a Zoom for your team members and whatnot have you, I think it's better if you discuss it with your team leaders. Yeah. And how does 𝐸𝐸𝐺𝐿 brand differ from other brands? I think it's quite self-explanatory. 𝐸𝐸𝐺𝐿, 51 years old, global business, manufacturers of Kangen water machine, which is one of the best drinking waters on planet Earth. In fact, other companies compare themselves to 𝐸𝐸𝐺𝐿 all the time, saying that our machines are better or even at equal level to Kangen water machines. You know, so I believe that because of a lot of this information, 𝐸𝐸𝐺𝐿 is very, very high in the food chain of these consumers. So these brands, yeah. And if you're wondering how 𝐸𝐸𝐺𝐿 is different, you know, just go to the website and just look at the website, read more about the 𝐸𝐸𝐺𝐿 company. You know, if you had the chance, go and visit Okinawa where the 𝐸𝐸𝐺𝐿 HQ is. You would definitely fall in love with the company all over again, right? Amazing. Yeah, and that's the problem because timing-wise is a bit difficult, I understand, especially for the Americans. And even for some of the Europeans, you guys are like hours back. So it's a bit difficult sometimes, I get it. But let's see, you know, we can raise an inquiry to the team here and see if they are willing to slot in somebody to do more of timing that accommodates the American market or even the European market, right? Let's continue, guys. No annual renewal fee. You don't have to pay some sort of fee every single year to maintain your distribution ID, yeah? A cumulative group sale. What this means, it's amazing, guys. It means that the more results you bring or the more results you get in the company, your commission just scales bigger and bigger and bigger. Your commissions get more and more and more. That is what a cumulative group sales means. Global business, you can do this anywhere around the world. There is no borders that you can't cross. All right. You can sell this. I mean, I'm from Malaysia. I have customers in the US. I'm from Malaysia. I have customers in Thailand. I have customers in even Europe, you know, so you can do this business anywhere. And especially with this particular product, the emGuarde. Do you guys agree with me, yeah, that emGuarde, that just showing this Zoom can really convey the value of emGuarde? Unlike Kangen water, you need to go through the steps of the demo, showing the ORP, the pH and everything. And sometimes you need to see that live. But the emGuarde, it's literally a future-proof product because you can do this online. Yeah. And you can literally use like just a Zoom and you'll be able to build this business via Zoom. That's also another interesting selling point of the emGuarde business. Patented compensation plan. What this means is that 𝐸𝐸𝐺𝐿 is so solid that they don't need to change their compensation plan. They've already thought out every single thing, that in the many, many years they've maintained this compensation plan, they have never and will never put themselves at risk. All right. So that is the stability of the company. They don't have to change anything. They're already very stable. And that's very important when you join a company, especially when you're investing your time, investing your effort into building something within the company. Legacy income inherited. You build yourself to a certain rank in the company where you start to receive passive residual income. Untapped market. This means that, hey, try this experiment now. Just go out in your community, speak to the next 10% that you meet, and ask them 2 questions. Number 1, are you familiar with what EMF radiation is? I can almost guarantee you 10 out of 10 will be like, yeah, I know what EMF radiation is. Second question you ask them, have you heard of emGuarde? I can almost guarantee you, maybe 9 or 10 out of 10 of them will literally say, no, I don't know what emGuarde is. And there you go, an untapped market. There are a lot of people, not only around the world, but even in your community, that do not know that there is a solution for this EMF radiation problem. And you can be that person to introduce the solution to them. Yeah. Types of commission in the company, a lot. Too many for me to talk on this Zoom. But I will be sharing the main one, which is the 8A or 8 points commission. All right, so this is the biggest commission that you will encounter when you start the emGuarde business. So how do you become a distributor, guys? Again, very simple. You invested in an emGuarde for your family to protect your family from EMF radiation. With this investment comes a free distribution ID. You heard me right. The business is free, guys. So you, as soon as you bought your emGuarde, you can sign up as a distributor. But do take note, some countries you may have to pay a small fee to become a distributor, like Malaysia. But you're paying that small fee not to the company. You're paying that small fee to an association that oversees all of these direct selling stuff. In Malaysia, it's called DSAA. DSAM. Yeah, Direct Selling Association of Malaysia, DSAM. All right. So again, you're not paying the company, you're paying a third-party company. So again, business is free. All right. So you start marketing the emGuarde, you get direct sales. You get direct sales commission. But the interesting thing is, the people that bought emGuarde from you, they too can participate in this free distribution ID, right? They can also become distributors. They can go out in the market and start introducing emGuardes to their own friends and family. And when that happens, you will start to receive indirect sales commission. So the company is so generous, they're giving you 2 types of commission here: direct sales and indirect sales commission. And the company calculates all of these sales as your total group sales production. Total group sales, right? And group sales is very important. Do bear it in mind because it is important for you in your ranking up as you continue in this company, all right? So understanding the 8A or 8 points commission, emGuarde is 1480 global pricing. All right. Again, I'm going to remind you that some countries have different pricing because of tax and import duties. But let's take 1480 as the example. Now, enagic, out of the 1480, they have already allocated a preset budget of $520 per sale. This $520 is divided into 8 equal parts. Right? So imagine one whole pizza. The whole entire pizza is worth $520. And every single slice is worth $65. Because why? That 520 is divided by 8. But do bear in mind, for those who have been in the enagic business, you have a Kangen account. Yeah, so Kangen account is you buying a Kangen machine to join the company. if you sell an emGuarde, your 1A is not 65, it is 85 US dollars. All right? So for those who are more familiar with this, you will understand what I'm saying. So very quickly, guys, these are the ranks. 1A. First rank happens on your first direct sale. And on your first and second direct sale, you're making 65 US dollars, 65 US dollars each. Okay? The second rank is called 2A. And on your 2A rank, it happens on your third direct sale. And now you're earning 130 US dollars. So just like that, third direct sale, you are scaling your income higher and you've already doubled your income. 2A to 3A. For you to become 3A, there's a requirement which is to achieve 10 cumulative emGuarde group sales. So two keywords to keep in mind here is number one, group sales. Direct sales plus indirect sales. You don't have to sell all 10 yourselves. You don't have to. You can like sell 5 direct, and each 5 directs introduce 1 indirect. That's 10. Yeah. Once you've achieved these 10, you need to make another direct sale, the 11th sale, a direct sale. Then you become 3A, and then you're making 195 US dollars per sale. 4A, 20 cumulative emGuarde group sales. Your next direct sale, you become 4A, and now it's 260. 5A, 50 cumulative group sales. Your next direct sale, you become 5A, now it's 325. And on top, 6A, 200 cumulative emGuarde group sales. Your next direct sale is a 6A sale. And now you're earning 390 US dollars every time you make a direct sale. Now, I want to just touch note on one particular word called cumulative. Cumulative means it is always adding. In the enagic business, there is no such thing as demotion. You will never get demoted, meaning if you achieve your 6A rank, you're going to be 6A for life. For an example, you become 6A in 3 months, 6 months, whatever. You made some money. You decide, okay, I'm going to take a chill. I'm going to go out, have a nice holiday with family. You come back, life happens. You forget to do the business. Life moves on. And suddenly, after a year, you're like, oh no, I need to work on my enagic business. Happens sometimes, right? Even after 3, 4, 5 years, guys, your rank will always remain the same. Can you imagine that? In some companies, guys, after a year, if you don't have anything, you get reset. 0. You cease to exist in the company. That's what has happened to me and a lot of my team members as well. And that's something that's so rewarding about the enagic business. Am I right, guys? Your efforts will always be there. You achieve 6A, you maintain being a 6A for the rest of your life. But of course, there's maintenance and all this kind of stuff too. I'm not going to get into the maintenance stuff. If you want to find out more, ask your leaders, all right? But hey, the fact is that enagic business appreciates our efforts, and that's the one thing I feel, and that's one of the reasons why I love being part of the enagic family. So much so I'm even wearing an enagic shirt right now, yeah? So that is your direct sales commission based off your rank. Let's talk about indirect sales commission, right? Because the company pays on 2 fronts. Let's say this is your organization. It's a very simple exercise that we're going to do here. Everything in green is your commission in US dollars. Okay. So very quickly, you sell your first machine to Tom, you make 65. Your second machine to Alex, you make 65. So these 2 first sales are your 1A sales. You make 65, 65. Your third direct sale, now you get promoted to 2A, and now you've doubled your income. You're making 130 US dollars. Okay. But what happens when Tom sells to Grace? It is an indirect sale to you. Yeah. Tom sells ending up to Grace. Tom will make his own commission, no problem. But you will make 65. This means that every single sale that comes underneath Tom and Alex, you're going to make 1A commission. We call this the 1A overriding leg, right? Leg. But this theory also applies to your 2A overriding lanes, Rose and Kim. Meaning, if Kim were to sell 3 emGuardes, you will make 130 on each of these emGuardes. Because why? Because Kim purely falls under your 2A overriding leg. Simple as that. I like to say it's like a franchise. Yeah, you open an Apple shop, you get apples. You get an orange shop, you get orange. The only thing is that every franchise that you open on a higher lane gets you more income per sale. All right. So now we have 10 group sales, 4 direct, 6 indirect. You need to open a 11th sale, but it has to be a direct sale. And now you get promoted to 3A and you're earning $195. So that's how you get promoted, right? Meet the group sale requirement, open another direct sale day. Simple as that. So all of these sales, again, they're underneath Kim's organization. It's going to be 2A commissions for you for every indirect sale. But there is a limit. And let me show you that limit, right? The limit is literally in the name itself. It's called 8 points commission. The company only has 8 pieces of pizza. I'm going to show you how these pizzas are being distributed, all right? So let's say John. John sells to Don. It is John's first sale. You selling your first sale to Tom. Same thing, yeah? John sells to Don. John is going to receive 1 point. Or he's going to take 1 pizza. Right? Who's the next person to get paid? It is going to be Bob. Because Bob is the one that introduced John into the business. But John is Bob's 3rd direct sale. Yeah, John is Bob's 3rd direct sale. It's like you selling your 3rd direct sale to Rose. Meaning, Bob is going to take 2 slices of pizza. 2 points. Same thing with Ani, 2 points. Same thing with Kim, 2 points. If the company only has 8 points, and we've already paid out 7, this means that you are left with 1 point. So from the sale of John to Don, you are expecting 130, but no, you're making 65. Purely because there is no more 8 points to be paid. The same thing with John to Dave. Again, you're going to make 65 because there's only 1 point left for you. But when John sells to Dan, something happens. John takes 2 points, Bob takes 2 points, Ani takes 2 points, Kim takes 2 points. It looks like all 8 points have been paid out. And from this sale, from John to Dan, you get cut out of the 8 points. You will not receive any commission. And this is called a non-8A sale. And it does not count as a group sale for your rank advancement purposes. All right, meaning group sales are important. Why? Because when you achieve group sale counts, let's say 20, you're able to introduce Tony under your 4A line. You make 260 from the sale to Tony. And guess what? If Tony sells an emGuarde, you're making $260. Right? So the company is very, very firm on this and very transparent on this. Only 8 points paid from the bottom to the top. All right? But if you think about it, yes, there's a limit from bottom to top, but there is an unlimited amount from left to right. Infinite. And that is the ideology of the company. The company doesn't want leaders to just be sitting around doing nothing and chilling, right? The company wants the leaders to also be constantly working. So how I see this, guys, is that you want to open as many franchises as possible. You want to introduce this business opportunity to as many people as possible. Have more direct team members, all right? Because guess what? After 50 group sales, let's say you come 5A, you introduce Simon into the business, you're making 325. If Simon were to sell 10 emGuardes a month, that is $3,250 for you into your bank account. Man, I, as the leader of Simon, would be so incentivized to build and grow my team even more, because at the end of the day, if my team is producing results, I'm going to make money. And that is the ideology of this business. Right? In so many other companies out there, let's be real. In other companies out there, the leaders don't really care if their team members make money. The leaders just care if their team members are repurchasing every single month. But in this eNAGIC business, there is no repurchasing. Am I right? You can't buy an emGuarde every single month. So the only way as a leader in this company for you to make money is for you to make sure your team members are also making money. That is the ideology of this 8-point system. That is the vision that the CEO had when he created this structure. And guys, this system is patented. No other company has it. 6A, after 200 group sales, you introduce SAM 390. Every emGuarde that SAM sells is $390 for you. Right? So this is the business. This is the 8-point structure. And if you look at it very carefully, guys, within like 15 to 16 emGuarde sales, roughly, yeah, you have already recovered the cost of your emGuarde. After that, it is pure income for you. I see the 8-point, I see the emGuarde eNAGIC business as an extremely low risk business to be part of. Actually, there's no risk at all if you think about it. If you think about it, what's the worst thing that can happen in this business? The worst thing that can happen. You buy an emGuarde, you try to do the business, you get 0 sales. But guess what? You still have an emGuarde protecting you and your family. So there's literally no risk involved, because you're getting a product of value that literally provides value to your lifestyle. All right. So I hope you guys see this. I hope you guys see also the potential of building this business. I will continue to work at this business to the point that it will provide for my future, and it will give me generational wealth for my future kids and also my grandchildren. All right, because when I take a look at eNAGIC structure, guys, and when I speak to some of the managers, even the CEO, Mr. Oshiro, and some of the international managers, guys, their vision is far, like long. They talk about 5 generations. You see, like in some companies, when you talk about 5 generations, some companies talk about 5 to 10 years for 1 generation. But for the eNAGIC business, 5 generations can be hundreds of years. All right? Literally. So I don't see eNAGIC going anywhere. They're going to be around for a very long time. And I'm willing to invest and build this business for myself and my family. All right? So career path-wise, in the future, again, 6A is not the end, guys. 6A is literally just the beginning. You achieve 6A, you get a one-time bonus. One-time bonus of $3,000. It's just a bonus, a title bonus that you receive, yeah? But what's after that is, hey, you want to help your team members also become 6A. It's bound to happen, yeah? And when you get 2 team members on 2 separate lines, whether they're direct or indirect, if they become 6A, you become 6A too, you get $6,000 bonus one time, yeah? 6A2-2, your 2 6A leaders, they do the same. They find their leaders to become 6A. They become 6A2. You become -2. You make $12,000 one-time bonus. Now, the next rank is where it becomes amazing. 6A2-3. When your 2 leaders, they become -2. You qualify to become -3. And when that happens, not only will you receive a $25,000 one-time bonus, but for the rest of your eNAGIC life, you're going to be receiving $5,000 monthly plus other incentive calculations minus performance requirements. And I have seen enough to know that that 5,000 is not 5,000, it is more. But just imagine, guys, just imagine every single month, you know you're going to receive 5,000 US dollars. How reassuring would that be? How much financial comfort will you have if you're able to achieve this rank and you know it's going to come? And what's better is this, the two leaders that you brought in who are dash twos, don't you think they want that 5,000 a month too? Of course, right? So they're going to work themselves to become a dash 3 too, and you're going to become a dash 4. And suddenly that 5,000 has become 10,000 a month. So that is the 𝐸𝐿𝐼𝐺 business. It's all about helping our team members achieve success. You know, I come from a very strong team in Malaysia. Some of you may know this gentleman named Amos Seah, who has went all around the world to build this business in multiple countries. I have team leaders like Mingwei, Simon, Nicholas, Belinda, Eunice, Eileen, you know, and these, all of my team members, we are very active and very energetic, and we're building this business around the world. But it only shows one thing, that the 𝐸𝐿𝐼𝐺 business is not a solo business. You can't do this alone, guys. So I urge you, if you have team members, you have team leaders, work together with them. You know, I know it's not the easiest thing to do with working with people, you know, but hey, in the 𝐸𝐿𝐼𝐺 business, it is required. You need to work as a team. Or I have a better solution for you. If you don't have any team leaders at all, find other team members to work, find other teams to work with. For an example, the upcoming event in Malaysia. A lot of the people that attend are not related to any of us. People from America come, people from London come, UK, Europe, they all come from around the world. But we hold these events for the reason of why? Because we want to support the 𝐸𝐿𝐼𝐺 family, growing all the distributors around the world, and we're giving information and knowledge because we want to empower people. All right. So I absolutely love this company. I love my team, and I also love the future that can happen for me if I continue to put the hard work in. All right. So this very quickly, just going to go through this. I'm coming to the end soon. All right. But I'm just going to promote this very quickly. So India, again, congratulations. You can start to import emGuarde into India via Malaysia. All right. And there is a special India launch special promotion. It is a personal import and sale from Malaysia. The special promo price for Indian distributors is 5,200 ringgits plus shipping, custom and duties, and other taxes. So the reason why, just to let you guys know, the base price in Malaysia is 6,620, right? So it has been reduced significantly. Why did 𝐸𝐿𝐼𝐺 do this? It's because they understood that the import duties into India is going to be very high, right? Now, purchase is only for existing 𝐸𝐿𝐼𝐺 distributors and end users, all right? And every single name, you're only allowed to purchase 3 emGuardes, right? So one ID, you're only allowed to purchase 3 emGuardes. There is currently no set end date for the current promotion. If anything, we will update. But do bear in mind, because of the lower pricing, commissions in Indian rupees have been reduced, right, to 5,214 Indian rupees per point. Now, how do you, if you want to take a screenshot quickly, how do you order your emGuarde? Step 1, fill up the form. It has to be the India special promotion form. Make payment through link in ringgit currency, all right? Send the application form and payment details to GOC India. Payment check, verification by GOC. If everything is okay, they will ship the product to you. But I recommend, hey, take a trip to Malaysia, just pick it up from there, all right? India and Malaysia are pretty close, not too far away. Now, pointers, SP status renewal for every emGuarde is 3 months, all right? But there is no enroller or sales facilitator not allowed. every emGuarde sale from 1A to 5A is considered one group sale. But in the month of you ranking up to a 6A, every emGuarde is only counted as half a unit sale for title bonuses. And for any incentives like 6A2 bonus, GFX, or anything like that, all emGuardes are 0.5 unit sale. There is no educational bonus for emGuarde, and the dollar value of emGuarde is 1480. All right, so these are some pointers. And lastly, warranty period is 1 year from the date of purchase. And if you wish to return the emGuarde to 𝐏𝐸𝐺𝐸, there are certain things that are required. Packaging cannot be open. You cannot rip off the plastic. And the distributor will be responsible for the return shipping charges to Malaysia. All right. So again, I mean, all this is not necessary for me to show, but I'm just showing it because if you guys are interested in buying emGuardes now. All right. And it will be the event that's coming up. Again, some of you may find it difficult for you to plan last minute to come to this event. All right. But this event, guys, is one of the reasons why I joined the business. It's also one of the reasons why my leaders have joined the business. It is pretty much an A to Z about how do you get started in the 𝐏𝐸𝐺𝐸 business? How do you be efficient with your time, and how do you build this business with intention? All right. We're going to teach you all that, the do's and don'ts in the business, the information that you are required to know as a distributor. And on the second day, the emGuarde Summit is basically all the information that you require to know to have bulletproof belief in the emGuarde. So it's a 2-day event. If you guys are still interested to come, it's not too late. All right. The tickets are still available. And the only thing you have to sort out is just the last minute flight ticket and accommodation. All right. So I'm just going to play a video later. Right now, I see there's some questions. So I'm going to answer your questions first. Alison, 100 or 200 cumulative? Good question. So when I showed 200, it was under the assumption that you're only going to sell emGuarde. So for you to become 6A in the company, you need to meet 2 requirements. Number 1, a minimum of 101 group sale. Number 2, 300,000 US dollar sale value. Yeah, you got to meet these 2. So if you're only selling emGuarde is priced at 1480. You need to have 200 plus for you to hit the 300,000 sale value. So if you're asking the same question again, meaning if I join with an emGuarde account, can I sell Kangen machines? Absolutely. All right. And I urge you to do so, because if you do so, you can potentially bring down that 200 group sale count very low, all the way to 100. Yeah. Do you plug the emGuarde in beside you or beside the router? I don't plug it in next to the router. I just plug it in next to me. It's literally right in front of me next to my computer, actually. Yeah. But what I would, because I have multiple emGuardes at home, I put one upstairs, put one downstairs. What you could do is you can just find somewhere central in your house and put it there. Cover the majority of the areas like your bedroom, your living room, your work room, and whatnot have you. Dr. Amit, when will it be available directly sell for all? Good question. I have no idea. All right, I'm just a distributor as well, so whatever information I'm sharing with you is just from the company. The best person to ask will be 𝐏𝐸𝐺𝐸 India. Yeah, Sergey said the right thing. You know, for you to become 6A 200 emGuarde only. Alison, if you are 86 sales at the moment and you haven't sold emGuarde, congratulations, you're almost to 5A and you're almost there, right? Don't give up. So basically, if you decide to sell emGuarde only, you will need to sell 28 emGuardes. Yeah, you need to sell 28 emGuardes for you to achieve your, but it depends. It depends on your sale value. I don't know what your sale value is. Yeah. Has it launched in South Africa as of yet? Yes, Michelle, it has. Yeah. I believe you need to contact 𝐸𝐴GIC France on how to get emGuarde into South Africa. It will give 3 months SP, yes, it will. All right. Can be Pakar. I'm assuming you're saying Tokore. No. emGuarde you cannot use as Tokore. Can I sell in Dubai? How? You can sell in Dubai. It's available in Dubai. How? You gotta ask the 𝐸𝐴GIC Dubai office. Or if you know Simon, you can message him directly. Yeah. I think I'm at 274 clay close, but my last 10 will count as half sale noted. Yeah, so if you are planning to up rank to 6A, all right, for you to get the title incentive bonus, you need to have 10 group sales minimum in that month. So if you're selling only emGuardes, you're looking at 20. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I'm coming to the end. I'm just going to show a very quick video to you guys quickly. Now, this video is just a quick summary of what happened last event. And for those who cannot attend this upcoming event, do keep note there's going to be one in January, all right? But let's take a look. There's no point recording now, guys. It's literally at the end. All right. So here's the video, guys. If you want to find this video, it's literally on the Facebook group and the Telegram group. Again, everything I'm getting right here is all in those groups. All right. So watch the video, guys. Enjoy this what happened last event.
If we want to be success, we must to commit to the business.
This training, when you come, you feel the power and the energy, and it's a consistent reminder that this business is not a business that you do alone. It is a business that, requires you to build a team and to have leadership qualities.
It's an energy, it's a connection, it's a community, and yeah, I mean, the number of people that I've met here from different corners of the world has been, I love to network. And I've probably met about 50 people here at least, and I expect to meet a lot more today.
Yes, after I attended EEW, I just realized that if you want to success in 𝐸𝐴GIC, you have to attend at least once essential 𝐸𝐴GIC workshop in your life.
Come to the workshop, don't come alone, and please make sure you come with lots and lots of people, all the people that you care for, and bring out notepads and write down as much note as possible. Be a student, be humble. That'll be my advice.
So yesterday's session, I come to know about the mistakes. I noted down the mistakes and what not to do and what to do in the energetic business for successful journey. But when I attended this session, and the perception completely get changed. So if anyone want to boost their business, they must attend these EEWES sessions.
This is the only setting where you get more and more information with testimonials, with research, information and knowledge on emGuarde, number one. Number two, you get to interact and you get to network with energetic distributors from all across the world. So that makes this platform very unique.
Yep, there we go. So that's the last event, guys. It was absolutely phenomenal. Every event just blows my mind away, especially because I get to meet a lot of people. I meet people from all around the world. So I hope you guys, if you guys can attend the one coming up soon, keep in mind there's one in January. All right. Good question that was brought up by Amit is that how does this protect from Wi-Fi signals? The question is, if it protects you from Wi-Fi signal, you don't get any Wi-Fi at home. Yeah, so that's a problem here. So, but coming back to the facts is that emGuarde only harmonizes up to 1000 megahertz. And that is simply because between 30 to 300, it is where it is the most harmful for the body. All right. Yes, I'm not saying that 3G, 4G, 5G is not harmful. It is harmful, but it is not the most harmful. The effect that it has on us is minuscule compared to 30 to 300. All right. Detector is not available anymore. Okay, so if you're talking about the old detector, which is the RD is no longer available. All right, the manufacturers for those have stopped. Right now, we are using 𝐏𝐫𝐨𝐝 or SDR antenna. All right, so those are available. You can buy them from Amazon, eBay, or any of the Shopee or Lazada platforms. Okay, iPhone says emGuarde only protects 30 to 1000, detector only shows above 1000 is not harmful. I need to understand what detector you're using. For my conclusion, you're using the RD, because if it's showing above 1000, that means you're showing something different. Yes, so there are two detectors here, guys. All right, I'm going to take some time to explain this because I think it's important. The previous detector, the one with the ring, right? There's a ring and then there's a body. The ring is called the RD detector. Now, the RD does not detect frequency. The RD detects, I forgot the term. The RD detects microwatts per centimeter square, which is basically the power of a radiation or a signal. Right? It's two different things. One is frequency, one is strength of the signal. So the RD will show figures way above 2000, 3000 if you point it straight at electric source. What the RD is good for identifying where the radiation source is coming from. All right, but it doesn't tell the frequency. How does it tell the frequency? Is by using something called a 𝐏𝐫𝐨 or an SDR, a software defined radio, which is able to capture the frequency. So two different detectors here. All right, so RD is the power of a frequency. Yeah. The 𝐏𝐫𝐨 is detecting the frequency itself. So I hope that answers your question. What's the difference between EMR and Wi-Fi and microwaves, waves, and radiation and okay, so I'm going to give a very simple explanation because I'm not qualified to tell on this information. I'm just a normal accountant, right? But from my understanding is that the difference between EMR and Wi-Fi is the frequency wave. Everything is all frequency waves. Even light itself is a frequency wave. My voice is a frequency wave. All right. So the difference is a lot of these frequency waves, all right, is either audible or non-audible or visually visually capable of being seen or not. All right. So EMR, electromagnetic radiation, exists all across the spectrum. But within 30 to 300 megahertz, that's when it has the most impact on the body. Wi-Fi operates way above 1000 megahertz. So if it operates way above 1000 megahertz, again, it's not within 30 to 300. If you come back to FCC, we are tackling the problem between 30 to 300, the low frequency radiation waves. Those are the ones that have the ability to interact with our organs. Yeah, so that is the simple answer to you. All right, anything more I cannot explain because, again, I'm not the right person. And that's the reason why for my friend iPhone, if you're able to come to the EEW on the second day for the emGuarde Summit, these are the informations that you will learn. These are the things that you have clarity on and you'll be able to understand a little bit more. All right. All right, so just to sum things up, guys, very quickly. Telegram group over here, join. Facebook group, join. All right. These are the two platforms where you will receive. Am I lagging? Am I clear? All right, okay, I'm back. So these are the two platforms that you will receive information on any updates related to emGuarde. All right, any upcoming events, any Zooms, any added information that we have came across and we are adding it into our system for you to show. All of this will be shown on these two pages. So a lot of the questions you guys ask me, there are actually guides on the Facebook group. There are already guides available for you to go and research and find out the information. Right? So if you, for a lot of the questions you have asked me yet, the reason why you've asked me those questions is because you have yet to go and explore the Facebook group. So I urge you, go and join the Facebook group. We are already setting things up so that we give you information that is needed. All right. From where we can get from 30 to 300 frequency, what are the sources exactly that emGuarde? iPhone, for your question, right? It's very difficult for me to explain to you exactly what's happening because your questions are, it shows me one thing, your fundamental knowledge in terms of EMF radiation frequency is not there. And I don't have the time to go through all of those information at the moment. What I can suggest you do is go to the Facebook group. There are guides. There's guide 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way to 9. Go through every single guide because in those guides, we guide you specifically to understand what EMF radiation is, what frequencies are, how are they related, and how emGuarde is able to suppress these frequencies and to keep our bodies protected from those radiation waves. All right. So go to those guides first, learn through them, and then if you have any other questions, then you can ask me. All right. It's not that I don't want to answer you, it's just because if I do answer you, it's going to take very long. And I don't even have like the visuals to help you understand it. All right. So try to go and see those videos first because we have already sorted the presentation out nicely. So after that, you can come and talk to me about it. All right. So that's all, guys. Thank you for joining. I hope that after this Zoom call, you guys have a bit more clarity about what emGuarde is. If I went too fast or anything like that, I do apologize. Okay. The next Zoom that's happening is going to be next week, Wednesday. It may be run by somebody, by me, or somebody else. All right. Let me reply this real quick. Okay. So that's all I have for you guys. I wish you guys all the best in your emGuarde business and Enagic business. Take care and all the best in your success. Yeah. Please do go to the guides, guys. The guides are very helpful, extremely helpful. All right. You're most welcome.